everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels, and another merry stupid o'clock in the morning to everyone. Alright, so we are going back to that place of horrors we all know and love, known as the JRC this morning. Delving in once again to the outlets that are covering the FDA overturn. Excuse me, because curiosity. This one we are going to be going over today comes from the nationalreview.com, mainly because the title of it just jumped out at me. Like, I don't even know. Hopefully, they'll explain it in the article. We'll see. But before we get started, as always, folks, you are going to find the link to the article there in the description, as well as other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign and the ever-present Change.org petition to shut the Judge Rotenberg Center down. Now, folks, we are getting ready to battle in the Senate in order to remove public funding from the Judge Rotenberg Center for using the shocks on disabled kids. You will find the links to the templates in order to send those off to your senators. So please check that description box, send that letter. You have no idea how important it is right now for those senators to feel the pressure to do the right thing. All right. Now, also, second disclosure for this morning. When we are discussing the JRC, you will hear vivid descriptions of, and sometimes see actual clips of video surveillance of people with disabilities being abused and tortured. If you have young ones present, please use your headphones. And folks, it is 4:38 in the morning. I obviously have my second dose of caffeine here, but please forgive me if I stumble over any words or, have long moments of silence like I did just there. Sometimes it can be difficult to talk when my brain's not fully functioning yet. My apologies in advance. So, why did I find the title of this interesting? It's called A Defeat for Dr. Leviathan. I don't know if that's an actual doctor or if they're talking about the Leviathan, the creature, and are trying to be cute. But let's find out. This was done on July the 26th, by the way, so not too long ago, by Joel Zimberg, who apparently also knows what it's like to be working at stupid o'clock in the morning, 6:30 a.m. All right, here's hoping against hope they're not idiots. Okay, so let's go into it. A recent ruling from the D.C. Circuit reaffirmed the FDA may not regulate the practice of medicine. Oh, dear God, here we go. This is going to be a train wreck. I knew when I woke up this morning and there was a bunch of crap on Twitter from the Actually Autistic hashtag that this was probably going to be a crapshoot type of morning. But I had hopes. Okay. Must not rant. Okay. A recent ruling by the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals in a seemingly obscure case has important implications for limits on the Food and Drug Administration's regulatory reach and for the freedom of physician-patient relationships. Oh my God, it's one of those. We don't want any restrictions on our doctors. They have overstepped their bounds by, approving what prescribed medications we can prescribe for what. Oh, Jesus Christ. This article is going to be special. Sure, let doctors decide what's best for the patient. Not the actual patient decide what's best for themselves. Let's give someone a frontal lobotomy who comes in with a broken leg. Because after all, we can't have laws regulating medicine, right? Jesus Christ, what did we step into, folks? There's not enough caffeine in the world for this. The case had an unusual background. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center in Massachusetts treats people with severe mental disabilities, including self-injurious and aggressive behaviors such as headbanging and self-biting. And some of them don't and still get shocked anyway. They shouldn't be shocked for things over which they have no control. Maybe try find what's triggering the behavior, jackass. Some self-interest patients do not respond to conventional therapies. Says you. The hell do you know about it? Are you a doctor? Are you someone on the spectrum? Then you don't know jack shit. You obviously have no idea what kind of therapies are out there, or you wouldn't be spouting this. Oh my god. Did I want to read this to get an outlet's point of view and somehow enter the Twilight Zone with the people with the tinfoil hats? Fantastic. Okay. The center, with oversight from the state authorities, uses an electrical stimulation device to briefly shock these patients to reduce or cease their behaviors. Is that really what you all think? That video of Andre McCollins went viral. Does it look like they were shocking him to reduce his behaviors? The man was restrained face down on a 4-point board. What possible behaviors was he able to physically do other than scream because he was in pain? But whatever tinfoil hat wears, it's going to be that kind of morning, okay? All right. While electrical stimulators are used to treat a wide variety of conditions, the center is the only facility in the country that uses them for self-interest behaviors. Okay, so now they're going to do the false equivalency between ECT and painful skin shocks. Okay, I'm gonna clear it, make it simple for you stupid tinfoil hat wearing idiots, okay? I'm gonna make it real simple for you. ECT is done in a controlled environment where a person is given a type of painkiller before undergoing the treatment. The electrodes are put around the head, around the brain, not directly on the muscles, and they try to do it as painlessly as possible. Let's contrast that. We're going to contrast that with the Judge Rotenberg Center, who give no anesthetic of any kind. These electrodes are placed on the muscles by a device, might I add, that was invented by the school itself. It is literally used nowhere else but in this school, and by Matthew Israel's own admission, was designed to hurt people. Quit trying to push this false equivalence between ECT and painful skin shocks. They are not the same thing. Stop it. In 2016, the FDA proposed banning electrical stimulation devices to treat self-injurious behaviors based on its determination that the device's long-term effectiveness was uncertain for that indication. Uncertain, my ass! It was proven to be completely useless in regards to a long-term solution by the JRC's own admission that long-term, once the devices are removed, the behaviors will return. And why is that, my friend? It's real simple. Because the underlying problem causing the behaviors was not dealt with. Duh. And that it posed a risk of substantial and unreasonable harm to patients. Yes, it's not that hard to understand, Karen. The agency issued a final rule based on those findings in 2020. It's a 126-page document, National Review. Try reading it. I did. Families and guardians of self-injurious patients disagreed with the FDA's benefit-risk determination. Okay, now they're going to say all families and guardians of self-injurious patients disagreed. Major bullshit. Major bullshit. See, that is that false narrative they're trying to push. Several parent organizations signed the letters begging the FDA to investigate. The ARC, who has been surveying patients with disabilities way longer than the JRC, signed that letter. Other disability organizations, parent organizations, places from all over the country and all over the world signed those letters. But they don't want to talk about that. No, they want to talk to you about us flawed self-advocates who just don't understand. Bullshit. There are medical doctors all across the world that all agree that not only is this torture, but in the end, a treatment that is absolutely freaking useless. But go off, National Review, you fucking tinfoil hat wearing sons of bitches. Does the FDA have the authority to ban an otherwise legal device from a particular use while allowing it for other uses? The court answered in 2-1 negative. That's what I don't understand about this whole thing. The FDA banned two specific devices. Two very specific devices that is not available anywhere in the marketplace at all. It's only at this school. That is the GED 3A and the GED 4. Are you real? And those were made for the particular use of causing pain to people with disabilities by the JRC's own admission. So how the hell do they not have the authority to ban those devices for the reasons that they were designed for? Something tells me these DC Circuit Court judges either didn't do their homework or someone paid them not to do their homework. I'm just going to say it. All parties agreed that the FDA has the power to ban a medical device altogether. That's what it was doing! The GEDs are not out on the marketplace. Oh my God. Hear me. Hear me right now. This particular medical device is used in only one place. Where Matthew Israel would like it to go commercial, nobody else is willing to buy his torture device. It is available in one place, and it was designed for one specific use. Like, what the actual hell? Let's read their justification. One section of the Food and Drug Cosmetics Act gives the agency authority to ban a device that poses an unreasonable and substantial risk of illness or injury. Yes! But another section of the statute, entitled Practice of Medicine, prohibits the FDA from limiting or interfering with the authority of a healthcare practitioner to prescribe or administer any legally marketed device to a patient for any condition or disease within a legitimate healthcare practitioner-patient relationship. Oh my God. Y'all, somebody paid you not to do your homework. Somebody had to have paid you. Why? Because these two devices, the GED 3A and the GED 4, had no legal approval from anyone. It had no FDA authorization to have the go ahead to use these devices. The FDA approved one device for the JRC. One. That was the first GED, the GED 1. But the GED 3A and the GED 4 were not legalized in any capacity. It is literally in the documents. The JRC admits it. Admits it during the FDA trials, okay? Admits it. It's in that 126-page document that we've gone over on this channel. And now you're going to tell me, but it's legally marketed? No, it's not. It is not in any way legal whatsoever. None. Somebody paid these people. Somebody paid these people to be this stupid. I guess you can do that when you're a $75 million organization who gets $285,000 a head per school year for torturing people. You can buy off whoever you want, I guess. The FDA did not extend its ban to other uses of the electrical stimulation devices. Devices, for example, still approved to treat tobacco, alcohol, and drug addictions. Again, the ignorance. Nobody's using a GED to treat tobacco, alcohol, or drug addiction, okay? Because they, again, are only available in this damn school. Okay? How many times do I have to say it? They are not using GED devices on these guys. In fact, more often than not, they're using ECT for these guys. ECT, people. Not painful skin shocks. And certainly not GEDs, because they're only available at the school. The two-judge majority reasoned that if a device could be legally marketed for those conditions, then Section 396 constrains the agency's authority to ban practitioner from prescribing it for another condition, self-abusive behavior. But they're not marketed. Oh my God, this is stupidity. Nobody's using a GED device to treat addiction, okay? Nobody. But if it's on the market available for those conditions, it's not. It's really not. It is available at one place And somehow, I don't see someone who's all the way from California gonna just pick up, drag their asses all the way to the other side of the country in order to get tortured with a torture device in order to stop drug addiction, okay? I don't see that happening. I'm just saying. Ugh. Oh my god, how long does this crap goes on? The decision reaffirms that the FDA may not regulate the practice of medicine. I'll say it for again, then why the hell do they exist? It is literally their job to interfere with medicine. But the tinfoil hat crowd, well, they're just happy that kids with disabilities are being tortured because, yay, we get the FDA off our backs and now we can go make money all we want. Woo! It's all about the money. It always is. These people don't give a damn about you and me, especially not us disabled people. They only care about how much money they can get off of us. Physicians must be free to prescribe approved drugs and devices for on and off label uses. Oh, damn! Seriously? I'm gonna read this craziness to you again. Physicians must be free to prescribe approved drugs and devices for, and let's say it again, on and off label uses. What the f am I reading? Off label uses. Mean like recreational drug use? You mean I should be able to go and get this GED and then put it on somebody who's pissed me off in their sleep and just shock the hell out of them? What the hell? Off-label uses? Do you want people dead? Because that's how you get people dead. What the actual hell? What kind of psychoness did I descend into this morning? Off-label drug use is common, especially in certain specialties such as oncology, where off-label drug uses are often considered the standard of care, and in pediatrics, where scientific, ethical, and logistic concerns mediate against conducting large trials for approval in children. I hope to God I never go to one of those places. Allowing off-label use enables physicians to assess their patients' unique circumstances and evolving state of scientific knowledge, as opposed to waiting for lengthy and costly FDA review and approval of each and every possible use. Oh my God, really? Because God forbid children actually used what has been proven to be safe and effective. Now we gotta try that experimental pseudoscience bullshit that we cram down their throats until we find something that sticks. What the hell? This is a recipe for disaster. What the actual... The only reason why this didn't happen to me, folks, is my mom's been in the medical field for over 30 years. She knew better than to listen to this nonsense. And she made sure I got medical care that made sense. Thank God for that. I'm going to send this to her later. Jesus. The FDA argued that the statute does not limit its ability to ban devices for particular uses while maintaining them as approved devices for other uses. I wouldn't approve the GED to be used to cook my dinner, okay? Let's put it bluntly here. The agency claimed that it would be a peculiar construction of the statute to allow the agency to completely ban a device but to prohibit the FDA from using its expertise to narrowly tailor a ban to those circumstances in which the device presents a uniquely substantial risk. It's a device not available on the market. Get it through your fucking heads. How much longer is this garbage fire? The dissent by Judge Stuyvesant echoed this argument. If the agency approved a device for two intended uses and subsequently decides that the device has limited effectiveness and high risk for one of them, Stuyvesant opined, it's hard to perceive why Congress could want to deny the agency the ability to ban a device for a risky use while preserving it for other use that has an acceptable benefit-risk profile. Why force the agency to make an all-or-nothing choice, preserving or losing both uses? Ban the thing! Because it's only being used for one use, okay? Karen? It's not widely available on the market. That's your problem, FDA. That's your problem. This device, this particular device, is not widely available on the market because no idiot wants to buy it. Okay? You should have banned, in particular, the GEDs. Because then these judges would have had no ground to stand on. Moving on. Yet, the majority found is exactly what the congressionally enacted statute demanded. A natural reading of language of the Section 360 suggests the device is either banned or it's not. No statutory language indicates that a device can be banned for some purposes yet allowed for others. A legally marketed device in Section 396 is a device that can be lawfully sold, prescribed, or administered for any use. That's the thing. These devices were not and are not legal. Okay? They were never authorized for use by anyone. Nothing in the statute suggests that it must be marketed for the particular use for which the practitioner wants to utilize the device. Let me just shoot me. The court continued to allow the FDA to allow a device for one use but ban it for another would eviscerate Section 396's protection of off-label uses. The plain language of the statute suggests that Congress wanted to preserve physicians' freedom to make professional judgments about utilizing devices that are legally marketed for one indication, for any other condition or disease. It's bullshit. It's major bullshit. It's not being used anywhere else. The FDA has other avenues to communicate safety and efficiency information to physicians through labeling changes and public warnings. Yeah, because labeling is really going to fix everything. That's going to stop the torture by putting a label on it. Sure, how many labels have stopped people from smoking? Don't worry, I'll wait for that answer. Highly trained and sophisticated physicians can evaluate this information and share it with patients and their families to the most appropriate medical choices. No, they're not. That's been proven. These parents have drinking the Kool-Aid. They don't care their kids screaming and screaming for help. Obviously. Or we wouldn't be having this conversation. But micromanaging medical practice by making it an authorized, approved device unavailable to physicians for the particular use exceeds the FDA statutory authority. For the love of God, it's not approved. The device is not approved. It's not approved. Read the documents. GED1 is approved. The devices in question, GED3A and GED4, are not approved. Oh. The majority of the opinion is important because, rather than deferring to the agency's statutory interpretation as the dissent urged and so many other courts do, it undertook its own careful statutory analysis. Congress has chosen to preserve an important value. Physicians and patients determine medical care, not bureaucrats. You idiot, the patients are not allowed to make a decision here. It's the physicians and the parents that you're giving the power to. The so called patient is completely powerless in this situation, and you seem to not give a damn. The patient is the one being tortured. They don't get to decide whether or not they get to go through that. Because if they did, they sure as hell wouldn't be in that school. You take your self-serving, condescending bullshit and take it somewhere else. You fucking torturer, apologist piece of human garbage. Alright. That's all the level of stupid I can take this morning, folks. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I've had just tinfoil hat crowd. That's all I got to say. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this topic. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time, so please don't forget to hit that like button. Hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning, and as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.